Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco. Today we have got two games for you. We've got Pickering Town and Stamford. A slight change in the schedule to what you were expecting, but it's because Pickering Town are top of the league and Stamford are second in the league, I believe. So it's a big top of a table clash today in both of our games. Now then, hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a lovely Monday. I know it's a bit of a crap day Monday, really, isn't it? But hope you're doing well. I'm feeling very motivated because we've had a decent start to the season with Lincoln United in Season 2. We're doing all right, I've got to say. We're doing all right. We'll show you what's happened since you were last here. We played 3 games in between last episode. So we started off the season with a 4-0 win against Pickering Town, of course. You were here for the last episode. Since then, I've not been unhappy, but I've not been happy with the results either. Like, we've not lost the game yet, but we haven't really shown ourselves in the best light, I don't think. So we'll start off with the game against Pontefract Collieries. Conor Robinson scored it in the 4th minute, and we absolutely controlled the game until they scored in the 83rd minute, very late on, to make it 1-0. We just didn't take our chances in that game. We really didn't make the most of our chances, and that's what cost us at the end. If we just put half the chances away that we had, we would have won that game hands down easily, even if they'd scored 2 or 3 goals. So it's a frustrating game, that. And very much the same story against Frickley Athletic. Now, Frickley, if you remember, are the favourites to win the table, or the favourites to top the table, favourites to win the league. We saw it last episode. They've not played too well this season, and we really dominated this game as well. But again, we just didn't take our chances. Chris Kelly, with the second of the season, was cancelled out by Jacob Hazel, scoring the 84th minute to Frickley late on in the game. So, despite us dominating both those 2 games, we just failed to take our chances, and it was really poor, I've got to say. So we should have won those games, which I'm a little bit annoyed about. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us at the end of the season. But last time out, we did go away to Wisbech Town and win 1-0. Daniel Aitken with the goal in that one. He's been probably the most impressive player, actually, I think, of the ones we've signed over summer. So I've been very impressed with him. He's played very well on the right-hand side of the pitch. So 2 wins and 2 draws. It's not too bad. As long as we win our home games and draw our away games, 2 points on average, that is good. And so far, we're actually doing better than that, aren't we? Because we've won 1 home game and we've drawn 2 away games and won 1 away game. So we're doing slightly better than what we'd expect, what we'd want. We want to win our home games, draw our away games, and then that way we should win the league. As you can see from the table, 4 games in, it's still obviously very tight across all the teams right now. We sit 4th as it stands. Pickering Town top of the table and Stamford are in 2nd. So big games today against those 2 clubs. We need to watch out for Chris Knight, who plays for Stamford. Already got 7 goals to his name, which is, that's pretty good, I've got to say. He's definitely one to watch out for then. So when we get to Stamford game, we'll try and injure him straight away to make sure he isn't a threat to us. First of all, though, we have Pickering Town, who are starting to become a little bit of a rival against us, I think. They're slightly becoming our rivals. We've played them quite a few times in some tight matches, so Pickering Town are going down. In goal then, Michael Emery stays in goal. The 2 goalkeepers that we had on trial, they signed for other clubs. They didn't want to sign for us, they signed elsewhere, so that's unfortunate. Michael Emery, though, you're still our number 1 goalkeeper, our only goalkeeper at the moment, so we'll have to keep an eye out for more goalkeepers just as a backup. But Michael Emery starts in goal. Corrigan stays at left back just because the new guy at left back we signed, Bradley Roberts, he's just massively unfit. Like, he's played like 1 game, and that was a week ago, and he's not recovered from it. So I'm not quite sure what to do about Bradley Roberts. We need to get him working on some fitness. That's not great. But Jacqueline and Idahan have stayed in that centre defensive partnership all season so far. They've been really good. And Jake Walker, the new right back, is starting to stake a claim now for that right back position. Holmes and Scholesbeard, the new centre midfielders, doing very well so far this season. I'm pleased with how they're playing. They're staying in the midfield. They're playing very well for themselves. Gary Jones, the youngster, of course, that we brought in from the youth squad, he comes off the bench every now and again. He does quite well for himself, actually, I've got to say. So they're sort of the midfield 3, I think. Unfortunately for Liam Dickens, I think he's kind of pushed to one side a little bit at the moment, but hopefully he can try and fight his way back into the squad because he's a very decent player. Chris Kelly stays on the left. He's played better than Tim Akinola when Tim Akinola has played, although he's been unlucky not to start many games, actually, Tim. So we may try and swap them around a little bit in today's game. Cotton stays in that attacking midfield position. Of course he does. Aitken on the right-hand side is probably the best player so far this season, I think. He's got a 7.13 average rating, which isn't actually the best rating overall, but he's been prolific, I think. Harry Robinson, the other guy that we brought in this summer to play on the right-hand side of the pitch, has played woefully. 6.37 average rating so far. So, interesting. I thought it'd be the way around, but Aitken has really surprised me. He's also the best player in training every single week. So Aitken, watch out for him. And of course, Conor Robinson starts up front. He missed last game. We played Jack Warner last game. He scored a goal, actually, I believe. Maybe I'm making that up. I can't remember if he actually did score a goal or not. But I think he's played well. Reagan Hutchinson hasn't started a game yet, actually, which I feel a bit bad about. But he just doesn't perform well in training. Jack Warner has also played very well in training. So I feel like I've got to get him the start ahead of Reagan when he does play. Conor Robinson is always going to get the first start because he's just the best striker we've got. But Jack Warner and Regan Hutchinson aren't too far behind, but Jack just performed better in training. Right then, that's that. That's a bit of an update on the team and how they're doing so far. They're all gelling together quite well, I think. I think we've got a tight-knit group at the moment. The social hierarchy and the social groups seem to look okay. We'll show them actually a little bit later on, perhaps. But hopefully we can take on Pickering today and get the win. I think I would take a draw, though. I think I would take a draw against Pickering. Like, I know they're a decent side. They're in the playoffs last season with us as well. I think we had some good games with them last season as well. So I really think that we are better than them. But I would take a draw right now at this stage of the season. Early start of the season. There's no real pressure on us yet, so I feel like a draw is a way to settle ourselves a bit into the season. It's difficult now, but potentially towards the end of the season, this could be a point earned rather than 2 points dropped, perhaps. Highlight now, though, 32 minutes in, Kelly, the new winger on the left-hand side, puts the cross, and Aitken just puts it wide after it bounces around the area. That was a beautiful opportunity that we really, really should have taken there, I think. We may rue that later on in the game. That's what I mean. We get these great chances. We had a few of those kind of chances in the previous 2 games or previous 3 games, and we've just failed to take them. We took all our chances in that first game of the season against Colton. That's why we won at 4-0. But since then, we've only scored 1 goal in each match. And it's because we just failed to take the chances like that. And just like that, that is the first half done. That would mean that was an awful first half. Assertively then, I'm going to go... Not happy with the performance out there, actually. Matt Cotton loses some confidence, apparently. He's not played too well this season so far, Matt Cotton. We may have to address that. We've got no one else who can play attacking midfielders, so we may have to start getting a few players on trial, scouting out a few players. If Matt doesn't improve, what do we do? That's the issue. As you can see from stats, we have been dominant in this game. Pickering not really offering much. I just don't quite know how we're going to grab this goal. I think we may go attacking rather than positive. I think that may be the first step to take. Oh, look, the webcam. It keeps doing this. The webcam keeps doing this, and I don't know why. It's annoying me. So I don't know how long that webcam was off for. I don't know why it does it. It just seems to cut out every now and again recently. It's not been in the video, luckily, but I've had it on, and it's just sort of... I don't know what it does. So I don't know how long I've been out for. So either I've just not been there, or I've just been, like, still for ages. I don't know, something like that. Either way, let's not let that distract us. Let's not let that distract us. We've got 135 people here today wanting to see a win against Pickering Town. Well, only 132 actually. 3 away fans. They want to see Pickering win, I suppose. So we've got 132 of you here that wants to see us win. Corrigan nearly puts in the back of the net from his free kick. We are dangerous, I've got to say, from set pieces, but I mean, yeah, we're dangerous. Right, changes need to be made. Definitely up front. So Akinola is coming on the wing. And we're going to bring Jack Warren up front as well for Robinson, just because we need a change up front. We're not scoring goals in this game, so something has to happen. Jack Warren is more of a poacher as well, so hopefully he can poach a few goals. I think we may as well make 3 changes at once as well. Gary Jones is going to come on for Skullsbeard as well in that Carrillo position, although can we swap him to box-to-box? We'll make him a box-to-box just for this game, for this rest of this game. I think that may work a little bit more in our favour. Come on then, boys. 17 minutes, 16 minutes to grab a win. We need to do this. We need to grab the goal. We've failed to take our chances in 2 of the games so far this season, which have resulted in 2 points dropped, I would say. We'll also shout push forward as well for these final 10 minutes or so. Push forward out there. We need to grab a goal. In fact, I think we're going to go very attacking as well, which could leave us a little bit open at the back, but we have to try and go for this now. How many highlights have been in this game? I think there's literally only been 2 highlights in this game, which shows how poor it must have been. And as the clock ticks down, Jack Combs picks up a yellow card. I don't think we're going to win it. Now, I said I'd take a draw against Pickering. Looking at the stats, I feel like we should have won the game, really. We had more chances. As you can see, we've had 9 shots to their 5 shots. The game finishes. I'm not massively pleased with that. I'm not massively pleased. 11 games in a row now without losing, apparently. If we continue into last season, apparently. That's good. That's pretty good, I've got to say. We've not lost a game this season yet. Only us and Pickering haven't lost. So that's a good record to keep. But I really think we should have won that game. I'm a little bit annoyed. So most of our players actually in a core social group. Everyone seems to be good friends. Tim Akinola, Gary Jones and Duncan Ardahan finding it a little bit hard to find a friendship group. Apparently, well, I'm not quite sure why Tim and Iden don't just have their own little secondary group like Callum Smith and Michael Jacklin do. Gary Jones I'm surprised about, but I suppose he is 16. Everyone else is at least... Well, to be fair, actually, most of the players now are like between the ages of 17 and 19, I think. So, not quite sure why he's not got any friends. Not sure why any of these guys have any friends, but hopefully they'll get one soon. Still not got any team leaders, actually. We've not had a single team leader yet, which is a little bit of a weird one. But Connor Robinson is the closest thing we've got to it. He's highly influential. I think he was just an influential player last season. Has sort of made the step up to highly influential. I'd love to get a team leader because that would help me out a little bit. I think I'm good mates with Connor, so I feel like he'd be a good team leader to have. But for whatever reason, he's not. It's a good dressing room, though. It's a good place to be Lincoln United at the moment. I know we're a little bit upset with the recent draws that we've had, but I think the players have got enough about them to take the win. We're playing against Stamford, who must have lost their last game because they dropped down to 7th in the table. So that's a good chance we've got now to try and grab another win. Down to just £16,000 in the black now. We lost £9,000 last month, apparently. So 2 months' time, we'll probably be in the red once again. Oh, look, we've got the draw for the Integro Dudson League Cup thing that no one's ever really heard of before, but it's a thing, apparently. So let's just draw a few teams. Who are we going to get in this? Not that it really matters too much. Oh, we've got Workington. Now, we're at Workington of a league above us, but they're bottom of the league in the league above us, I think. So that's a nice challenge to have, I think, actually. That's a nice challenge. Aidan Grant used to play for Lincoln City. I swear he did. Aidan Grant, he did. Lincoln City. That might be a decent challenge then, actually. Playing a team from a league above us, but bottom of their league. So we can sort of see how we match up against that kind of level. So we're being made favourites for this game against Stamford, which is nice. It's always nice to be made favourites for a relatively local derby. Stamford is in Lincolnshire, but it's quite away from Lincoln, really. Lincolnshire is a massive county. So, and there's not really much in it. So Stamford's probably one of the biggest places in Lincolnshire. But it's tiny. Well, there we go. Daniel Aiken has the best training rating of the week, which is pretty good. No bad performance there. That's the first time I've not seen a bad performance in training, which is good. But again, Daniel is always up there, so I feel like I have to start him because he just trains so well. So I feel like I have to start him. And to be fair, when he plays games, he does do quite well in them as well. So it's working out quite nicely. I feel like I want to give him an actual contract, though. He's on non-contract terms at the moment. So I feel like I want to give him an actual one because if he keeps on playing as well he has been playing, some of the team might want to sign him soon. All right, do we want to make changes to the lineup? I think we're going to bring Reagan Hutchinson onto the bench instead of Jack Warrener. Connor Robinson is still going to be the man starting, but I want to bring Reagan on at some point because he's not played a game yet and he deserves to have a chance. I think what we might do is we bring Aitken over to the left-hand side of the pitch. All right, then we bring Kelly onto the bench. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring Harry Robinson on that right-hand side. I think that's the best thing to do. Like, Kelly's played well, but the past 2 games or so, he's shaken a little bit. He's not been the best. Aitken's played very well, and I kind of want to give Harry Robinson another chance. He's going to play on the right-hand side, Aitken on the left. I feel like Cotton and Robinson have to stay there, as I said. Holmes and Scholes-Beard are the best centre midfielders we've got. We can bring Gary Jones on, but he's just not as good as them. And to be fair, the back line is keeping clean sheets. They kept a clean sheet last time against Pickering, so I'm not going to change that. They're the changes that we're going to make. Hopefully, it may help us a little bit in that attacking final third. Hopefully, we're going to try and actually win this one because we need to get a win under our belts. Hopefully, today we're going to get a decent result. I think we really missed the trick against Pickering. We really should have won that game. Hopefully, we won't rue it. Stamford are a team that we really should be beating as well. If we can't beat them today, I feel like we have to really think about our attacking play because it's not really working at the moment apart from that Colton game, but that was a few games ago now. We scored more goals in that Colton game than we have done in the 4 games after it, which is a worry. Highlight early on though in this game with Cotton now on the ball, putting it up towards Connor Robinson, a beautiful bear. Connor Robinson should have scored that. Almost rounded the keeper perfectly there, but the keeper did very well to make this save. I was about to start celebrating the scoring a goal there, but we haven't done it. Corner comes in, goes all the way through, and it's actually a free kick to Stamford. Must have been a foul in the area by someone. That's what I mean by us missing our chances. We've had 2 great chances in both games today that we've missed when really we should have scored them, and that's what's cost us the wins in the last few games. And Connor Robinson again with another chance. This time hits the crossbar with it, and it's just stupid that we keep missing these really simple chances, and it's happened so many times the past few games. I just can't believe it. We should have won every game this season. And yet we're looking at 2 wins and 3 draws right now, and potentially another one right here. Literally, no one can hit a barn door. Is that the phrase? What is? And they've scored the goal now. Chris Knight, the guy we said we need to worry about at the start of the episode, he scored the goal. Is that the phrase though? We can't hit a barn door. Is that? I'm sure it is the phrase. We can't do it. We can't hit a barn door at the moment. We should be 2-0 up in this game. Well, 2-1 up. We should have scored 2 goals, but it's just not happened. Here we go, another chance now. Looking like it could be for not us. Stamford get it actually after winning the ball back from the throw. Although Holmes with a nice interception there. Matt Cotton once again into Scholes' beard. Aitken now on the ball up towards Connor Robinson. Can he win the ball? Not quite. Salt gets a bit as a poor clearance, and really Harry Robinson should have made that his. He hasn't, and now Stamford can come forward in behind the defence now. Knight, who's already scored against us, looks for a second. Emery with a huge save, but we're not showing ourselves in the best light in this game so far. Another throw-in now for Stamford in the attacking third, and they retain possession this time. Cross comes in, cleared, but only as far as Duffy. Duffy out to Robinson on the right-hand side of the pitch. Adams now gets tackled. Harry Robinson, for us, comes away with the ball in towards Matt Cotton. Holmes now on the ball. No one central enough for him. Cotton puts the ball up to Connor Robinson again. Third time lucky for Connor Robinson. This time puts it in the back of the net to level things up just before half-time. His 4th goal of the season, which is very good for him, although nowhere near the 8 that Chris Knight's got for Stamford so far. Hopefully the second half then is going to be better. Hopefully in the second half we're actually going to make the use of our chances. We've missed 2 clear-cut chances in this game, which has been really poor so far. Another throw-in for Stamford in the attacking third. They seem to get quite a few of those, but we did score from the last one they had, and Connor Robinson coming away with the ball now in towards Scholes' beard, number 6, who puts it out wide, doesn't quite get it to his intended target. Now Barry comes away, can't get it on target, luckily for us. Stamford don't score another goal. It stays 1-1. We can do it. I know we can do it. We've got the quality to do it. We just seem to have missed the chances that we've given ourselves so far, and I think we scored the most difficult one, actually, as Harry Robinson comes forward. There's no one in the box, though, unfortunately. Like, where were the players in the box there? They should have been there. And unfortunately, the goalkeeper can just collect it. And here comes Stamford again, putting the ball forward. Knight in behind the defence again, and puts it in the back of the net. And really, we should have scored that end of the pitch. No one was in the box. We should have scored it, really. Why are we not taking our chances? Why? What I think we do, then, is play more centrally, because Harry Robinson and Aitken haven't played particularly well today. Haven't played particularly well at all, I've got to say. So, Aitken is going to come off for Reagan Hutchinson for his first start this season. So that's going to be good. He can put as a poacher. Connor Robinson stays a pressing forward. Harry Robinson's got to come off for Gary Jones, who's going to come on in that ball-winning midfielder position. Although, I don't think... Oh, to be fair, he can play that quite competently. I don't think either of these two guys can play as a ball-winning midfielder. So we'll leave it like that. We'll leave it like that. 2 changes, a tactical change. Slightly more aggressive down the middle. The wingers haven't been playing very well today. They've been quite ineffective. So let's try a little different approach. I mean, so far it's actually been quite ineffective because nothing's happened since we made that tactical change. Apparently we should try and encourage a shorter passing play. Let's try that. We've got a throw-in now in the attacking third. Connor Robinson can't win it. Knight has been given the ball. He's put the ball forward towards Barry. Jacklin gets in the way. Emery gets a decent clearance up towards Scholes' beard, in towards Matt Cotton, who can play it forward, just misses out on Reagan. Although the keeper makes a dodgy interception. Reagan Hutchinson, with just about his first touch I think we've seen, scores his first goal for the club to bring it back to 2-2. Come on, boys. It's making up for a tasty last 20 minutes of the game now. Come on, let's get into this. Tell you what, if we win this game now, this will be a very, very good comeback. 15 minutes left. There's a free kick for Stamford as they come forward in this local derby. You forget as well it's a local derby, so it's a really interesting game, actually. The cross comes in, collected, very, very well collected by Emery there. Otherwise, that was a certain goal for Stamford. Emery, with his goal kick then, or what's he ever going to do with it, finally does kick it up towards Scholes' beard, who doesn't win it, but Walker does win it, but gives it straight away back to Stamford, who retain possession on the left-hand side of the pitch. The ball's played up to their number 16, who's obviously come off the bench, and Barry puts it in the back of the net for Stamford now. 3-2 on the scoreboard. Demand more. We need to demand more from the boys out there. Corner for them now, which is dangerous. The corner comes in, and it's been put in the back of the net by Liam Adams. Oh, and with 6 minutes to go, that's probably that, I've got to say. We've been, to be fair, all over the pitch. We've not been very good at all. And we've just capitulated or so in the last 20 minutes, which is never good to see. You hate to see it. I really thought we'd take this league by storm this season. So far, it's not happened. 2 wins, 3 draws and a loss. It's not title-winning form, really, is it? I said in the team talk I was far from pleased, and a lot of these players don't seem happy with that. That's a little bit of a worry as well. We've got... Ooh, that is a worry. Right, 9 points from the first 6 games. I feel like we did better than that last season, and last season our start was not very good at all. How did we do at the start of last season? We won the first 3 games, I know that for sure. So, last season, we won the first 3 league games, then lost 1, then drew 1, then lost 1. So we had 10 points at this stage last season, and we had an awful start last season. So, it's not looking good. I'll tell you what, though, we have had a really tricky start to a season. Frickley are meant to be the favourites for the title. Pickering were top of the table when we played them. Stamford, obviously, were second in the table at the start of the episode. They're obviously going to be a very decent side this season. We come up against Marks United next game, 17th. Workington, who are in the Cup. Micklova, 16th. Morpeth, 6th. Osset United, 19th. We've got some easier games coming up in the next few fixtures. I think what we'll do next episode is... Which one do we do? I think we do Sheffield and then Bristol Manor Farm. I have checked. Bristol Manor Farm are actually in Bristol, so I'm not quite sure why they're in our division. If we look at facilities, look, Bristol are in Bristol. So why they're in our division, I've not a clue. But hopefully we'll beat them when we play the next episode. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have done, make sure you drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here with notification bells turned on so you never miss an episode. Hopefully we'll turn things around a little bit in time for next episode. We can see some wins, but hopefully you can join me next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.